Do you remember when you went to your grandma and she made a bunch of food for the family? Basically, she cooked for an army and she was unsatisfied until everything was gone from the table. Well, this woman took it way too literally. A 52-year-old woman in the Netherlands went to the hospital one day because she had a terrible stomachache. They made an x-ray on her stomach and it turns out that she ate 78 pieces of cutlery. 78 cutleries! Look at it! It's a miracle that she was even alive at that point. Scalpel, please. Oh, wait. I found one. This is an eating disorder called pica, and it's not funny to joke about someone's illness, even if it's named after a Pokemon. If you are suffering from pica, you can't help yourself but eat things that are not meant to be eaten. In this case, cutleries. Thankfully, after the surgery, the woman was saved, and it couldn't have been possible without the help of the X-ray machine. But how do they even work? Is it science? Is it magic? Or maybe it's the work of demon worshippers? X-ray is a high electromagnetic radiation. It works like a lamp. It emits light, just in a different wavelength. Thanks to this, it's not visible to our eyes, but it has the special property of passing through soft tissue like your skin and your muscles. But it can't pass through more solid tissue like your bones. Thanks to this, your bones block the light, casting a shadow, and voila! You get a shadowy picture of your pelvis. This phenomenon was discovered by Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen in 1895. The first device looked like this, emitting its totally not harmful radiation, universally in all directions. He called it X-ray, X meaning it's an unknown radiation. However, many countries call it the Röntgen radiation, naming it after its creator. Both scientists and the public were amazed by this new technology, and they couldn't wait to insert it into their everyday lives. But of course, X-rays being invisible doesn't mean they are harmless. This seems to be a returning arc in humanity's history, never learning the fact that just because there is something you can't see, it doesn't mean it's not dangerous. Wait, who's that guy? Where did he go? It's probably fine. A major pioneer in the medical use of X-rays was John Hall Edwards. He was one of the first radiologists in the world to use Röntgen rays to identify a foreign body. He used it in imaging a sewing needle embedded in the hand of a patient, which assisted the surgeon in its removal.
Yep, it's right there.
He's a genius! He was then appointed as a consultant surgeon radiographer to a number of hospitals in and around Birmingham, where he was set to develop the new field of radiology. In 1900, he joined the Second Boer War in South Africa as an X-ray specialist. He reportedly X-rayed around 280 patients and published a number of papers on his military experiences. Hall Edwards wrote papers on the treatment of cancer with Röntgen rays, but sadly developed side effects of radiation himself. Dermatitis in his hands eventually progressed and resulted in the amputation of his left arm and 4 fingers on his right hand. He remained undeterred and took up painting using the thumb of his right hand. And honestly, he was surprisingly good. I only found one painting of his and hats off to him. Despite his lack of fingers, Hall Edwards wrote about the harmful effect of X-rays and cited his own case as an example. Back to the topic of the lost hand. You would never guess where is it right now. His amputated hand is in a glass case, on display, in the Birmingham Medical School as a reminder of the harmful effects of radiation. Just imagine going to the museum and seeing your own hand in a glass case. Quite surprising to say the least, offering one of your body parts to an institution for it to be seen by all. Mr. Edwards, when I asked you to help me expand the collection, I didn't mean give me a hand in the literal sense.
You could have been more specific.
Excuse me?
I said you could have been more specific. How the hell was I supposed to know? I even had the glass case, custom made.
What do you mean more specific? You have to be an idiot to think otherwise.
An idiot, you say? Then you know what? Go to hell.
Why are you showing me your thumb?
Because that's the only finger I have left.
Things slowly started to change between 1900 and 1910 when the careless use of X-rays rapidly began to claim its first victims. By 1910, many of the photographers and radiologists who had helped popularize the technology had developed cancer, suffered amputations, or died. Thanks to this, some protective equipment was developed and made commercially available. Many of these protective measures remain the same as of today. Although medically the X-ray usage was reduced, this was not always the case in the world of capitalism. X-ray became the new hip word in the 1900s, and it was advertised everywhere. It was like being in a Call of Duty lobby in 2010. The businessmen of the 1920s thought of creative ways to use the new technology, such as X-ray glasses. You might wonder how they managed to shrink a 400 kg device into a pair of glasses. Well, the answer is more simple than you might think. By lying, of course. X-ray specs, as you can see, promises you two things. See the bones in your hand and see through clothes. What an amazing deal for a pair of glasses. Made out of paper, of course.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
Although Röntgen glasses were not a real thing, many people believed in their existence. This opened up the market for other ideas, such as detectives who advertised the use of Röntgen devices for following unfaithful spouses, or lead underwear that was manufactured to foil attempts at peeking with X-ray glasses. But that doesn't mean they didn't use real devices somewhere else, for example, hair removal. If you had any unwanted facial hair that you were tired of shaving, you just had to lean forward and the high radiation lasers took care of it for you. It was perfect for personal hygiene until the side effects kicked in, such as vomiting, bleeding, fainting, and of course facial cancer a few years later. Ooh, and hair loss. But hair that you probably didn't want to lose in the first place. But this didn't stop the women of the early 20th century. Cancer research in the 1970s uncovered that 35% of radiation-based cancer in women were connected to X-ray hair removal. I saw some pictures of what facial cancer looks like and I can't see them anymore. I wanna die. Another idea was using it at shoe stores. With the help of X-rays, you could find the perfect fit for your needs. The shoe-fitting fluoroscope was a common fixture in the shoe stores between the 30s and the 50s. This is an actual ad from the 1920s. The idea was that X-rays would show you whether your bones were comfortable inside the shoe. There were around 14,000 devices in the USA, Canada, and the United Kingdom combined. One of the biggest companies had the really creative name of the X-Ray Shoe Fitter Corporation of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you lived around that period, you might have seen one of these things around, until they eventually got banned. These machines were not so dangerous. However, many employees put their hands into the X-ray beam to squeeze the shoe during the fitting. There was a saleswoman who had operated a shoe-fitting fluoroscope 10 to 20 times each day over a 10-year period. Sadly, she developed dermatitis of the hands. One of the more serious injuries linked to the operation of these machines involved a shoe model who received such a serious radiation burn that her leg had to be amputated. Parents 100 years ago thought X-rays made for great entertainment. Well-to-do families even rented X-ray machines for birthday parties. While an X-ray would make a great souvenir, it is hard to picture today's parents being on board with this. There were also carnivals that set up displays, allowing people to see inside the human body.
Come on, step right into the magical X-ray machine. Check into the mysteries inside of your body. See how your bones are connected. One at a time only. Go ahead, sir.
Oh wow, this is my 5th time today.
Here you go, sir.
Finally, I got all 5 of them.
Congratulations, sir. You are the lucky winner of our special prize.
Oh yeah, what did I win?
Here you go, sir.
What is this?
Well, our machines turn out to be working a bit too effectively. If you know what I mean. I also got one for myself.
But I don't want this.
Well, it's not refundable, but you don't have to worry. It will only take effect in 10 or 20 years or so. Next one on the line.
Is it safe if I'm pregnant?
Of course, ma'am. It's totally harmless.
Well, turns out it wasn't totally harmless. But that's a story for another video. Did you know that 100% of the people who watch our videos are not subscribed to our channel? Since this is our first video. So you could help us out with one. Don't forget to leave a like or support us on Patreon if you want us to make these videos better and longer.
See ya!